friends, welcome to Love and Life's Journey DIY. I'm Chantel. Thank you so much for being here. Today I am participating in a collaboration called High End for Cheap, and we are going to be doing Christmas decor. I'm really excited to be a part of this, and I'm excited to show you these DIYs that I have come up with. So let's get started on those, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the collaboration in a little bit.
For this project, I will be using this silver tray that I picked up at Dollar Tree, along with these metal storage containers. These are from the Crafter Square aisle. They come two to a package, and I will be using 3 of these containers. I will be using these 3 votive candle holders that I found at Dollar Tree. I think these are stunning, but you can use any candle holders that you have that are about this size. I will also be using a 3/8 inch dowel. I just picked this one up at Walmart. This is a piece that I had left over, and it needs to be at least 14 inches long. Some other supplies I will be using are some metallic silver craft paint, some E6000 glue, as well as some hot glue. I'm going to start by cutting down my dowel to the size pieces that I need, and you do want to make sure that your dowel is straight. I noticed this one's got a little bit of a bend to it, so I'm going to cut it so that I'm hopefully getting the straightest pieces possible. But I'm going to cut one piece that is 6 inches long and 2 pieces that are 4 inches long. To do this, I am just using a miter box and saw. This is a great crafting tool to have. It makes just small projects like this so easy. I will leave a link to it in the description box below. The guides on this miter box will help you get a nice straight cut, and that's really important in this project. Now that I have my dowels cut down to size, I am going to take a little bit of sandpaper and just clean up those edges a little bit, but you do want to make sure that you don't sand off too much to make it not a straight edge anymore, because it is easy to sand it and get kind of an angle. Next, I'm going to take my metallic silver paint, and I am going to give these dowels a couple coats of this. I think it took about 3 coats to cover these, so it had a nice, good solid silver finish. Next, I'm going to find the center point of my tray, and I'm just going to mark with my pencil a couple of marks along the center just for reference. Then along that center line, I am going to be marking the center of the tray. On mine, it was about 6 inches to the center, so I'm going to be putting a mark there. And then I'm going to measure in from each edge of the tray 2.5 inches and put a mark there as well. So now I'm going to take my little storage containers and I am going to remove the lids. I'm just going to be using the lids of 3 of these containers. The lids are just a little bit shallower and are going to work better for this project. So I need to find the exact center of my lids, and so this is the trick that I use to do that. So I turn my lid upside down on a piece of paper and trace around it, and then I'm just going to cut out that circle, and then I will fold it in half and in half again so that I have like a quarter of the circle. Then I'm just going to line up that rounded edge along the edge of my lid, and I'm going to mark where the center point is, and I'm going to do that on all 3 of the lids. Now that I have those marked, I'm going to use some E6000 and just a little bit of hot glue to glue these dowels to the lids. Now, I did find that the super glue from Dollar Tree worked really well for this too, and so that's a good option. And I actually think it might give a stronger bond than doing it with the E6000 and hot glue. So if I were to do this again, I think I would just use the super glue. You do have to hold it for a little bit longer to get it to set up. Since I used the E6000, I did leave mine overnight to set up, but you could do a much shorter time with the super glue. Once those are all set, then it's time to attach them to our tray. And again, I used the E6000 and the hot glue because I hadn't really thought of using the super glue before I did this. That was kind of an afterthought. So like I said, if I did this again, I think I would just use the super glue. But I went ahead and put a little bit of E6000 on this, and then to get it to stand up, while the E6000 was drying, I did put just a little drop of hot glue on it as well. And as you can see here, I put the taller one in the center with the two shorter ones on each side. So once again, I let mine set up overnight, and then it's just time to style it. And this is so versatile. You can style this so many different ways, which is one reason I love it so much. So I put on some greenery that I had, and then I have these three little votive candles, like I said, that I found at Dollar Tree. And I just put the little LED tea lights inside those. And I just think that is so pretty. I love the way this looks. And this is great just for winter. It doesn't have anything really Christmassy on it, but you could also add like some Christmas ornaments in with that greenery, and that would be really pretty too. So for a little bit different winter look, you could remove the greenery and then replace it with some of the faux snow that you can get at craft stores or Dollar Tree or even Walmart. And I'm just going to spread that around all on the bottom of the tray. And then I'm going to use some of this really pretty greenery with the white berries that's new from Dollar Tree. It has a silver glitter on it, so it's perfect for this. And I'm just using one stem of this, but you could use a couple for a fuller look. And I just think that's really pretty. But then you could even add in some ornaments or snowflakes. Like I have these snowflake ornaments from Dollar Tree that I'm going to add in as well. And I think that just is a really pretty look. So as I said before, this video is part of a collaboration called High End for Cheap. This is the Christmas edition, and it is hosted by Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy and Kiki from Kiki's DIY. I will link their channels below as well as the playlist of all of these creators so that you can see what high-end Christmas decor they have created for cheap. For this next project, I will be using this little candlestick from Dollar Tree. You could also use those clear ones that they have as well. And I'll be using this little square vase. I found these poinsettias with the gold glitter at Dollar Tree, so I'm going to be using one bunch of those. And I'll also be using one bunch of this gold glitter fern that I found at Dollar Tree as well. I had this white wired ribbon with the poinsettia pattern and the gold trim on it, so I think I'm going to use that. And I also had some of this glitter vase filler, the red and gold, so this will be perfect for this project as well. I will also be using some metallic gold spray paint. So this candlestick is actually meant to have the round side up, but I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to remove the label from this because I am going to be putting that square vase on top of this, and it fits perfectly. And once I have that label off, I'm going to take it out and give it a good coat of this metallic gold spray paint. While my spray paint is drying, I am going to take my bunch of poinsettias and I'm going to push all of the leaves up toward the flowers so they're up high on the stems because I am going to be cutting these off and I want to have those leaves be included with those flowers. So I'm just pushing all of those up. Then I'm going to take my little vase and I'm just going to get kind of an idea of how long the stems need to be. And then I'm going to pinch all of those stems together and I am going to wrap them with some floral tape. Now, you can get floral tape at Dollar Tree and you can get it at Walmart and any craft store. But when you use this, it's kind of sticky. And so you just kind of stick it around and then pull it a little bit as you wrap it, and so it stretches a little bit, but that makes it stickier and it sticks to itself. So you're just going to wrap these together. This is just going to help it all stay together since they are short stems, because if you cut them all separately and then try to stick them in this short little vase, they're going to want to kind of fall out because the flowers are so big, and so it's going to be a little bit top heavy. So by binding them all together, it's going to help them stay better. And then I'm using a pair of wire cutters and I'm just going to cut those off so that they fit down into the vase. And I want these so the flowers are sitting right at the top of the vase. It's going to make like a really full looking vase. So that's why I'm cutting the stems the same height as the vase. And when I put mine in, they were still a little floppy, and so I just took it out and I cut off like another half inch off, or maybe quarter of an inch off of the end, just to uh, make it a little bit shorter, and then it's going to sit better in the vase. So I am going to fill my vase with this glitter vase filler. And like I said, I picked this up at Dollar Tree and I'm going to fill my vase pretty much all the way to the top with this. Then I will put my poinsettias back in there, and now I'm going to add a little bit of this gold glitter fern. And I'm going to just cut 3 pieces off of this and add them kind of randomly into my poinsettias. Typically, when working with florals, you do want to kind of work in threes. It's just a good number to balance it and not make it look too uniform. So that's why I'm using 3 stems of the gold glitter fern. So now that my gold paint is dry on the candle holder, I'm going to attach my vase with my florals in it. And to do this, I'm just going to use some E6000 glue and a little bit of hot glue. This is going to give it a strong bond, and then the hot glue is going to help hold it on there while the E6000 dries. So the ribbon I was going to use from Dollar Tree, the gold trim on it was too yellow on it and I didn't like how it looked. So I did find this other ribbon that I had in my stash and I'm going to be using it instead. But you can use any ribbon that you have. And I'm just going to tie a nice simple bow around the middle of the candlestick, actually a little bit toward the top of the candlestick. And here is my finished arrangement. I really like all of the different elements that are in this, and I think it looks very elegant. And so I'm very pleased with how it came out. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you are one of my regular subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and watching this video. And if you are new to my channel or you're coming over from one of the other channels in the collaboration, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here. I do a lot of DIYs on a budget and Dollar Tree DIYs, and I typically do maybe more farmhouse style with some other things thrown in. So if you like any of those or all of those types of things and you want to stick around for more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. For this next DIY, I am going to be using this little tinsel tree from Dollar Tree. And you could use a styrofoam cone or a wire form, just any cone shape. And then I'm also going to be using these really pretty gold glitter leaves that I found at Dollar Tree. And these come in gold and silver and blue and a rose gold color. So very versatile and fun. These are just gorgeous. And I just really love this gold color. It's not like that really like cheap yellowy gold color. It's just a very elegant gold. I'm going to be using this white Deco Mesh. It's just because it's what I had. It would be better if you had the same color as the leaves. And then I am going to be using that metallic gold spray paint. So I'm going to start by removing the tinsel, and this is just really easy. There's a hook on the bottom that the end is hooked to, and then you just unwind it, and there's a hook on the top that it's hooked to. So it's very easy to remove. Then I'm going to take my little cone form and I'm going to spray paint it with the gold paint. And while that is drying, I'm going to take all of my leaf stems and I am going to cut all of the leaves off of them. Now, I ended up using a total of 7 of these stems. So it will just depend on the size of your cone, how many you will need. So now that the paint on my little cone is dry, I am going to use the mesh to wrap around this to give me a surface to glue these little leaves onto. And so I just kind of did this really randomly. I didn't really have a way that worked good. Wrapping it around didn't really work well, so I just kind of did it in strips and just hot glued it to the cone. And then when my cone was all covered, since I used the white mesh, I took mine and I spray painted the mesh gold so that if any of it shows through after I put the leaves on, it's not really going to be noticeable. There were a couple of places where the little knobs from the tree form were kind of sticking out, so I just snipped those off with some wire cutters. Now I'm going to start attaching my leaves to the tree, and I did kind of select leaves that are the same size for each row, and I'm going to use my hot glue gun and just attach them at the tops of the leaves and then go ahead and overlap each one as I go around. Once I had the first row of leaves on, then I'm going to start the next row and I'm going to be overlapping them on the bottom and I'm going to be placing them in between the leaves on the row below so that they're staggered. And just a word of warning, just like any project that involves glitter, you're going to end up with glitter everywhere. I mean, just look at all the glitter on my table. When your project is finished, just spray it with a coat of clear sealer or even a coat of hairspray, and that will help to seal in the glitter and keep it from falling off as badly. So I just keep adding rows of leaves all the way up my tree. And when I got to the top of my tree, then I did that last row. I just made sure that the top of the leaves all met at the point of the tree and then just glued them on just like I did all of the others. I did have a few leaves left over, so I did look for any spots where I thought maybe I had leaves too far apart, or I could add one in just to fill in any holes. I just think this is so pretty. I love how it shimmers in the light. It's just really elegant, and it was so inexpensive to make, just under $10. It was so much fun to participate in this collab and create these high-end DIYs for cheap. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It really helps my channel and helps other people to see this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you stick around by hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell and set your notifications so that YouTube will notify you each time I upload a new video. To see lots more high-end Christmas DIYs for cheap, be sure to click on that playlist link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day.